Happy Monday, YouTube. Well, it's about 2 p.m. here in California, and I wanted to get on here and talk to all of you guys about call reluctance syndrome, or otherwise call reluctance. And what's crazy about call reluctance is that it is responsible for 80% of salespeople's failure first year, and 40% of a threat for veteran salespeople. Call reluctance. Think about that. 80% of salespeople fail year one because of call reluctance. And 40% of sales veterans are at threat of decreasing sales because of call reluctance. It's crazy. And this morning in our training, we were talking about just this. I've struggled with it over the years, and I've been selling for 18 years. But how can you identify this nasty call reluctance? Well, let me share with you guys some red flags. And ask yourself, as you're hearing me, if this applies to you. One, you find yourself starting later in the day. So if before you were start at 8 a.m. dialing, now you're doing it 10, 11 a.m. So all of a sudden, the amount of time that you have to sell just reduced, and the amount of people that you talk to just reduced. You always have something to do. Instead of dialing, you got something else to do. Whether it's a honeydew, preparing for calls, getting motivated, getting ready to get ready. You lose the energy on the phone. And this was a big one because I've heard agents selling on the phone and they just sound like they're having a really bad day. No energy, no enthusiasm. As we say, buzzkill. You get nervous on the phone. So when you get on the phone, you're nervous, you're getting overwhelmed. All of these points that I've shared so far are good signs that you're dealing with call reluctance. Here's another one. You invite the lead to end the call. And what does that mean? Well, what it means is instead of pushing a little further to gain more information or to close the deal, you're eager to hang up the call. You never make that extra phone call. Now, guys, these are just some examples of this call reluctance. And it's a real issue. Again, 80% of salespeople fail their first year in sales because of this. It's crazy. And then 40% of veterans, their sales are decreasing because of call reluctance. And look, I've been in this situation many times over the years. I've had Mondays where I showed up and I really didn't want to sell. I didn't want to pick up the phone. It's understandable. But we can all agree that eventually, if this persists, you will be in that 80% of people that fail. Or worse, if you're a veteran sales professional and you're losing business because of that reluctance. So I want to share with you guys some of the pointers that we went over with the team to help deal with this call reluctance, because this is a mind game. It really is. One of the biggest things about call reluctance that I've seen also is that people are thinking the worst case scenarios. They are assuming the worst. And by doing so, they sabotage their success. It's unfortunate. But what can we do so we don't fall into this trap? Well, let me share you some points. Create a daily routine. A lot of you guys that are working from home, you know, people think that you don't work. But if you stick to a routine and you let everyone around you know this is your routine, it's going to be easier for you not to get sidetracked with honeydews. It's easy to get sidetracked. 2, meditate when you wake up. For me, this is my favorite one. Every morning, early in the morning, when I wake up, I read, but I really meditate. And lately, my meditation is more about gratitude, why I'm so grateful for what I do. And when I get into my mind and start thinking about gratitude, my motivation starts climbing and I start getting a grasp of what I want that day. Meditate. Meditate on why. Why are you here? Get a head start. Number 3. If you're getting up at 6 in the morning, maybe you need to get up a little earlier. And here's another one, energy. Even if you feel like you're not all there, make sure that your enthusiasm and energy's there because it's contagious. Prioritize your calls. Best way to do that is look at all your follow-up calls. The people that you spoke to yesterday, the week before, the people that asked for a call back. Work your day. Be smart about it. And always use a script. That was another recommendation. But the most important one, you just got to pick up the phone. Sometimes all it takes is to pick up the phone and start dialing. Rejection, no one loves rejection. Everyone hates it. But sales is one of those careers that if you stick to it and you stick to that plan, you're going to have success. But, sales is very rewarding, but it can also be miserable if you're not making money. Remember what I said, 80% of first-year salespeople fail because of call reluctance. So it's better for you to identify this. If you're coming across, the day, the weeks, and you're finding yourself dealing with this, I recommend you hit it on straight. Because if you don't take action and acknowledge that this is what's happening, you will be in those statistics. As they say, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But it's not. It requires a lot of work, effort, and a lot of mind. Your mind has to be in it. Your heart has to be in it. One of the things that I always meditate on is I think about it like this. I can either 1, start dialing, or 2, I'm going to be doing something else in the near future. I told the gentleman a while back, I told him, look, if this doesn't make sense to you and sales is not for you, McDonald's is hiring at $25 an hour. And this wasn't me being funny or a punk. I was being dead serious. Because the call reluctance can paralyze agents. And if you're paralyzed, then you're not making no money. And you're better off going and working for the man, for example, McDonald's at $25 an hour, where you're not having to call. But again, why did you take on sales? For most of you, it was to get away from that. It was to build something for yourself. Well, here you are now. You're the CEO. You're the boss. You're calling all the shots. It's your business. But now it's time that you put it down for your family and yourself. Recognize it. Accept it. It's real. Call reluctance is real. But again, when you're able to identify that, or you start having these kind of symptoms, you're also able to correct it. Sometimes, you know, you need somebody else to tell you. Maybe this video can help you. But I know this morning in our sales meeting today, when we were talking about this, there was a lot of people nodding their head. Yes, yes. Put a plan together, work the plan. So I hope this helped one of you guys out there that's maybe dealing with this. I know it sure helped me. Great reminder. But if you're watching this, maybe you're having some reluctance and you're even thinking about quitting the business. You're saying, oh, it's the leads, Laurel. It's my manager. It's that I have no training. Whatever the excuse is that you've purchased into. Because that's the thing about call reluctance. You're buying into a narrative that is not real. It's all fear-based. But if you're there where you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to jump on the phones with you and dial. And guess what? I get rejection. I get my teeth kicked in. But I'll finish with this. Many years ago, my manager and mentor told me, don't put the pressure on any given lead. Don't do that. Put the pressure on the system and go to work. Because in this business, you can have a bad day, you can have a bad week, but I'll promise you one thing. After 18 years of selling insurance, I've never missed a meal for my children because I've worked the system. So I've had some bad days, bad weeks, but I've never missed a meal for my children. The system works, but you got to work it. Call me up. I'll be more than happy to jump on the phones and show you firsthand. Our leadership style is a little bit different. We get on the phones and we show you exactly what we say we do. So I hope you guys have a great start to your week and see you guys at the top. Peace.